Hello and welcome to the third video on my Python series. In this video, I will revisit the Python interactive shell. So let's get to that right now. SMD will take me to my command prompt. So let's wait for that prompt to come up. Here we go. So what I'm gonna do here is to go straight to the Python interactive shell by typing in Python here and click enter on your keyboard. So here we go. We are right now in the interactive shell. As you can see, these three greater than symbols here is the primary prompt. It shows that we are in the interactive shell. There is another prompt called secondary. The secondary prompt has 3 dots. I will show you that later on, but this one is the primary prompt. So in this video, I will introduce some concepts. And remember, in Python, we use the hash symbol for comment. So here, I will introduce to you these concepts. What is it called? Operand versus operator. Another comment with hash. Assignment versus comparison. Yeah, and again variable. So let me start with a variable. A variable is a reserved memory location to store values. You will see it in action right now. And so let me start with operand now. Another comment. Let's say we have 40 plus 40 or plus 50, for example. This 40 and this 50 are operands. Why this addition symbol is the operator. So what is an operand then? An operand is any object that could be manipulated. Any object that could be manipulated is said to be an operand. Remember, I told you previously in one of my videos that in Python, everything is an object. Everything is an object. And what does that mean? It means that every object has some attributes and equally some associated functionalities that is called methods. So here 40 is an operand, 50 is an operand, but plus symbol is an operator. Assignment versus comparison. So another comment with hash, when we have, and this will this will help me introduce variable as well. So let's assume a student mark of 60. Mark is equal to 60. It means that we are assigning value 60 to the variable mark. And remember, in Python, every variable must be defined. Every variable must be defined. What does that mean? You cannot just write, okay, let's say mark as a variable. You see, there will be an error, a name error. name mark is not defined. So defining a variable means assigning a value to that variable. So like what we did here, let's say mark. You can see I don't have the comment symbol again. So this is now a real code. So mark is equal to 60. You see, I didn't get that name error I got previously. So if we call mark right now, that is 60. So this variable, these variables, what they do is when a computer needs to process an information, the variables will supply data to the computer. So wherever you call this mark anywhere, for example, it will give you the value of 60. So now there are many things we can do with this. Let's say we want to change the value of mark. If you have something like mark plus 5, that is 65. But this doesn't change the value of mark. It doesn't change that value. This is just what we get from the equation mark plus 5. The output 65 is what we just got from that equation. But if we, let's call mark again, you can see that we still have 60, not this 65. That means when you do something of this nature, this equation we have here, mark, it doesn't change the value of the variable. So in order to change the value of the variable, what you will do, we have two ways to do that. So let's say mark, that is the first method, mark is equal to mark plus 5. So this mark now is the variable name we have. This variable name is equal to mark. Now you are trying to assign the value of mark, which is 60. So this mark now is this value of mark. So mark is equal to 60 plus 5. When you do this, then let's call mark again. You can see the value has been altered. But when you do something like this, mark plus 5, it doesn't alter the value of the variable. But when we do it this way, mark is equal to mark plus 5. When you call mark, it alters the value of mark. There is a shorter way to do this. The shorter way is mark plus equal 5. When we call mark now, you can see we have 70. So it altered the value of mark. We can use division, addition, subtraction. So let's use subtraction, for example. Let's subtract mark is equal to mark minus 5. Let's call mark. And mark, we have 65. We subtracted 5 from the previous mark. So let's use the second method, mark minus equal 5, and that when we call mark, we have 60. So it works. It works. So the last thing I will do here now, the very last thing I will explain to you guys here is this assignment versus comparison. So the assignment, you can see we already have that expression, mark is equal to 60. We use this single equal sign, this single equal sign. We use that for assignment. It is an assignment operator. We use it to assign a value to a variable. But when we have double equal sign, that is the comparison sign. So we have seen how the assignment operator, that is the single equal sign. We have seen how it works here. You can see here. So now I will introduce you to the second part of it, the double equal symbol. So let's assume we know that currently our mark is 60 here. So let's assume that, okay, if mark is equal. If you use one, or let's say if you use the single equal symbol in place of comparison, there will be an error. So let's say if mark is equal, we're using single now, 60. Let's see what will happen. You can see we have a syntax error, invalid syntax. So, but if we have, if mark is equal, the double part of it now is equal to 60, then colon, enter. You see we are here. So you can see this 3 dots. This is called the secondary prompt. It helps us write multiple lines. As you can see, we can include another line here. But with the primary prompt, it's difficult for we to like include multiple lines. This is the primary prompt, these 3 greater than symbols. But the secondary prompt with the 3 dots helps us write multiple lines. So here we say if mark is equal to 60. Remember, this if statement is a conditional statement. I will make a separate video on conditional statements. So conditional statements are one of those when you use them, any line of code that comes after them will be indented. The indentation in Python represents 4 spaces. So on your keyboard, press the space button 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. You must do that, otherwise the code will complain. So now, if mark is 60, is equal to 60, print with a single, we can use single or double quotation for the string literal. So print you passed. You must use that once a string is concerned. You have to enclose a string in either the double quote or the single one. Then close it. Else, then colon, enter. Remember, else is one of the conditional statements. Then we have to indent any code. Before we write any code, after that, we have to indent. So the indentation takes 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4 on your keyboard. Then print. So I can write anything here. So if it is below, if mark is below 60, you can say, okay, you should study harder. Then close and close the quotation, the bracket, and then enter. So let's see what will happen. You passed because mark is greater than mark is equal to 60. We printed this line of code. You passed. So that is it. So let's exit this command prompt by typing exit. Yep, exit. That's it. And then let me clear the whole thing. CLS, we clear that. So that is it for this video. If you think there are some things that I didn't cover in this particular video, just drop a comment on the comment section and I will have a look at that. I have a lot of things to teach you guys, so I will be making more videos on this. This is my Python series. So if you think that this video is helpful, just the only thank you I need from you guys is just to subscribe to my channel. Click on that red subscribe button to motivate me, and equally click on that notification bell to notify you whenever I upload another video. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for your support, and God bless. See you in my next